Hello and welcome. Whenever you book a flat or apartment or villa, you sign a contract with the builder. During the phase of construction, you would be required to make payments in installments. For this, you can either go for housing loan and the lender would release these installments as per the agreed schedule or depending upon the progress of the completion of the work, and you in turn pay EMI to the lender. Or if you use your own money, then you would be required to pay these installments directly to the builder. As and when these payments are made to the builder is required to pay GST to the government. If this construction is completed and you get possession of the property, then everything would be fine. But if this contract is cancelled, say because of delay, it is not completed or any other reason, then the builder is required to refund these payments. Let's say here is a flat available for booking, the price of which is 50 lakh including GST. Let's say you have made a payment of 25 lakh and this 25 lakh would include a GST component of 4 lakh. Now, if this contract is cancelled, the builder would be required to pay you 25 lakh, which would include a GST component of 4 lakh. In order to get refund of this GST, the builder is required to issue a document called credit note, and there is a time limit to issue this credit note. To put it differently, if this time limit is over, then the builder will not be able to get refund of GST that is paid to the government. And considering our earlier example, instead of refunding 25 lakh to you, the builder would only pay 21 lakh and you would end up paying GST of 4 lakh for a contract which is actually cancelled. And this is going to be a big loss for you. This issue is not just limited to construction contracts. It can happen to other long-term service contracts like long-term insurance policies, say for 3 or 5 years, for which you would be required to pay premium in advance. If you decide to terminate this policy prematurely, then the insurance company would only pay you the premium portion if the time limit to issue credit note is over. Thus, you end up losing the GST component that you have paid. To fix this issue, during the 48th meeting of the GST Council, which was held in December 2022, it was proposed to introduce a new functionality called REFUND for Unregistered Persons. This functionality would help unregistered persons, that is those who are not registered in GST, to apply for refund of GST on the GST portal itself. In this video, we are going to talk about this functionality in detail and understand the step-by-step process of filing this refund application on the GST portal. We'll also see what are the documents that would be required to file this application, and in the end, key things that you need to consider before you file this application. After you watch this video, you would be able to file this application all by yourself. Filing of this application is a three-stage process. First, you need to create temporary user ID. Basically, you are creating an account, and once you log into this account, you have to link your Aadhar to your user ID. This is the second stage known as Aadhar authentication. Once you do this, we can move to the last stage, that is to file application for refund of GST. In this video, we are going to take a deep dive and understand the steps involved in each of these stages. But before that, let's see what are the documents that you would require. First, tax invoice from the builder or any other service provider. Second, bank statement or receipts from builder being proof of payments that you have made. 3. Construction contract or agreement. 4. Cancellation letter from the builder. 5. A certificate from the builder. Now, this certificate should state 3 things. First, that the builder has paid GST in respect of this particular transaction. Then, the builder has not issued credit note, and that the builder has not claimed or is not going to claim refund of GST on this particular transaction. Once you have all these 5 documents, you are ready to apply for GST refund. First, you need to obtain temporary user ID. For this, Navigate to the GST portal. Click on Services, User Services. Generate user ID for unregistered applicant. Select Yes. Select to claim refund. Click Proceed. Enter your name as per PAN. Enter your PAN, your email address, mobile phone number, and select the state in which you want to apply refund. This is basically the state or union territory in which the builder is registered under GST. This user ID is state specific, so if you have invoices from multiple states, then multiple user IDs have to be created. Enter your address, your bank account number, and select the type of account, which usually would be savings account. Ensure that this bank account is PAN linked. Enter the IFSC, click Get Address. Enter the CAPTCHA and click Proceed. Select whether you are a resident or non-resident. Select the state. Legal name of the applicant would be your name as per PAN. If there is no trade name, you can leave it blank. Next, constitution of business. Select individual. If you don't have this option, select proprietorship. Enter your PAN. In the section Details of Authorized Signatory, enter your name, your PAN, your email address and mobile phone number. Select the type of address, enter your address, enter CAPTCHA and click Proceed. OTPs would be sent to your mobile phone as well as your email ID. Enter the OTP that is sent to your mobile phone to your email address and click Proceed. Once you do this, your temporary user ID would be created and login credentials would be mailed to your email ID. Once you get your login credentials, to log in to the GST portal, navigate to the GST portal, click Login. For first time login, click here. In the provisional ID field, enter your temporary user ID, password, enter CAPTCHA and click Login. You would be prompted to change your password. Change your password and log in to the portal. Once you log in, your dashboard would look something similar. If you would like to edit your profile, that is, say you want to change your address or bank account details, you may do so by clicking Edit Profile. Let's now move to the next stage, that is Aadhar authentication. For this, click on the user ID, My Profile, Aadhar authentication status, send Aadhar authentication link. You would get a link. Basically, you need to provide your Aadhar number, enter OTP and link your Aadhar to this particular user ID. Once you do that, we can move to the last stage, that is to file refund application. For this, from dashboard, click Services, Refunds, Application for Refund. Select Refund for Unregistered Taxpayer. Create refund application. Enter refund specification. It can be financial year. Then in the supplier GST field, enter the GST identification number of the builder. You can get this information from the tax invoice. Click search. You would be navigated to this screen. In the document number and date fields, enter the invoice number and date of the invoice. In the value field, enter the taxable value on which GST is charged. You can get this information from the tax invoice. Then enter the tax component. If it is an interstate supply, then fill up the integrated tax field. If it is an intrastate supply, fill up the central tax and state or UT tax fields. Cess is usually not applicable. If you have more than one invoice, click Add Row and provide relevant information. In the refund claim section, enter the tax amount that you are claiming as refund. This amount cannot be more than the tax that is declared in the invoice details. Select your bank account. Click Add Document and upload relevant documents that we had earlier discussed. Give consent to your undertaking. Basically, you're saying that if the builder has actually not paid this tax to the government, then you would pay back this refund to the government. Give your consent to the self-declaration. Click proceed. Again, give your consent to the declaration. Select your name. Click file with EVC. Enter the OTP. Click verify. Once you do this, you would get an acknowledgement that your refund application is successfully submitted. You would get an ARN, that is application reference number. Using this ARN, you can track the status of this application anytime. Once you submit this application, the refund processing officer will verify this application, and if everything is found to be in order, your refund would be sanctioned and the refund amount would be credited directly to your bank account. Let us now see what are the key things that you need to consider. First, time limit. To apply for refund, you have got a time limit of 2 years. And this 2-year time limit starts from the date of issue of letter of cancellation from the builder. So ensure that you file this application within 2 years from the date of cancellation letter. Next, this functionality, that is refund for unregistered persons, it's not going to be useful in 2 different situations. First, if the refund amount is less than 1000 rupees. To put it differently, if the refund amount is going to be at least 1000 or more than 1000 rupees, only then you can file this application for refund. Second, if the time limit to issue credit note is not yet over, then you can't use this functionality to get refund of GST, because the builder would be able to issue credit note, get refund of GST from the government, and in turn pay you back. To know more about the time limit to issue credit note, you may consider watching my earlier video, the link in the top right corner. Next, things that you need to consider before you fill up this application for refund. First, to obtain this temporary user ID, your PAN is must, so ensure you have one. Then, the bank account should be PAN linked. 3. Select the correct state or union territory at the time of filling application to obtain temporary user ID. This is the state or union territory in which the builder is registered under GST, and this is going to be state specific. So if you have invoices from multiple states, then you would be required to obtain multiple user IDs. Let's say you have invoices from 2 different states, one from Karnataka, the other from Maharashtra. So you would be required to obtain 2 different user IDs, one for the state of Karnataka, the other for the state of Maharashtra, and apply for refund using the appropriate user ID. Then, before you apply for refund, ensure that you do this Aadhar authentication process, because your refund will be processed only if this user ID is linked to your Aadhar. Lastly, the things that you need to consider at the time of filling up this application. You need to fill up separate application for each supplier. Let's say you have invoices from 2 different suppliers within the same state. For this, you would be required to file 2 refund applications using the same user ID. You can provide details for a maximum of 10 invoices in one refund application. If you have more than 10 invoices, then you would be required to file more than one refund application. Refund that you claim in your application should not be more than the tax that is declared in the invoice. This application for refund, which you fill up online on the GST portal, it can be saved on the portal for a maximum of 15 days, after which it would be automatically deleted. So if you have saved any application, ensure that you submit this application within 15 days, otherwise you will have to redo everything. This is all I have for you today. Hope the process is clear to you. Thank you for watching.